Judge Amy Coney Barrett tries to intimidate Kash Patel. What happened next stunned the entire courtroom. It was supposed to be a routine legal hearing, measured, formal, and uneventful. But what unfolded in the courtroom between Supreme Court Justice Amy Coney Barrett and former Trump National Security aide Kash Patel left everyone, from seasoned legal experts to political pundits, absolutely stunned. The confrontation wasn't just unexpected, it was explosive, defiant, and carried the weight of a seismic shift in courtroom power dynamics. Kash Patel walked into the courtroom with the kind of calm confidence that comes from someone who's been in the trenches of national security battles. Known for his role in exposing FBI misconduct and defending conservative values, Patel had already earned a reputation for being fearless, but no one expected he'd need that courage to go toe-to-toe with a Supreme Court justice. Justice Amy Coney Barrett, who was overseeing a high-stakes legal inquiry involving classified information and alleged government overreach, began by pressing Patel on his past roles and motivations. Her tone was sharp, assertive, and, as many in the room described, borderline condescending. She questioned the legitimacy of his disclosures, hinted at political bias, and at one point, directly said, "Greater than, Mr. Patel, are you here to defend the Constitution, or to defend a former president's legacy?" Gasps echoed in the chamber. It was clear she intended to rattle him. But Kash Patel didn't blink. He sat up straight, looked directly at Barrett, and delivered what would become a historic response. "Greater than, Your Honor, I'm not here to defend any man. I'm here because I took an oath to defend the Constitution, the same oath you took. The difference is, I've never used my position to silence truth." That line landed like thunder. For a moment, even Barrett was visibly taken aback. The courtroom, typically reserved and restrained, was thick with tension. Spectators, legal observers, and reporters all sensed that this was more than just legal jousting, it was a battle of ideologies *, live and unscripted. Barrett tried to regain control by doubling down with intense lines of questioning, but Patel fired back with fact after fact *, referencing statutes, case law, and internal memos that painted a disturbing picture of government overreach. He cited whistleblower protections, reminded the court of historic abuses of power, and even brought up the role of the judiciary in defending liberty rather than stifling dissent. At one point, Patel said, "Greater than, when the courts start asking why the truth was told instead of asking why the lies were allowed, that's when we lose the republic." That moment became the quote of the day. Legal experts described it as a legal mic drop moment. Social media exploded within hours. Hashtags like #Kash vs Barrett ***, hashtag truth over power ***, and hashtag constitutional clash *** began trending across all platforms. On YouTube and TikTok, edited clips of Patel's response were shared millions of times, often accompanied by captions like, "When a justice gets schooled," and, "This is what courage looks like." Even commentators who typically stay neutral were forced to take notice. MSNBC's legal panel admitted that Patel turned the tables in a way no one expected. Fox News called it the most important courtroom moment of the year. On X, formerly Twitter, Elon Musk commented with a flame emoji and simply wrote, "Kash Patel, 1, Deep State, 0. As the hearing wrapped up, Barrett appeared visibly frustrated, not just by Patel's defiance, but by how skillfully he turned the inquiry into a referendum on truth, power, and the responsibility of America's legal institutions. Many believe this moment could shift public opinion about the role of political influence in judicial settings. Outside the courthouse, Patel addressed a small crowd of supporters and reporters. He said, "Greater than, I wasn't there to win applause. I was there to remind the country that even the highest robes can be questioned, especially when they forget who they serve." The moment has since been compared to legendary courtroom exchanges in U.S. history. Patel, already a controversial figure, has now been elevated to folk hero status among conservative audiences, and even some independent legal scholars are applauding his boldness. Barrett has not made any public statement about the exchange, and the court has issued no official comment. But the silence speaks volumes. The reverberations of that moment continue to ripple through Washington and beyond. In an era where free speech, transparency, and accountability are increasingly on trial, Kash Patel reminded the nation that real courage isn't in holding power, it's in speaking truth to it. And in front of a Supreme Court justice, he did exactly that. If you want more uncensored moments, fearless truth-telling, and explosive stories the mainstream won't cover, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to Watched.